Stand by to launch Fan Stream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Fan Stream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Good morning and welcome into a beautiful Tuesday edition of the JP Peterson Show. All is right in Tampa Bay, my man. It is a big day. It is a big day. A new era is born for the Rays. I think we've said this about 15 times, but we'll celebrate it every chance we get as the new owners take official public control of the team today. For the first time, we'll have a press conference from the new owners. Patrick Zalewski, Ken Babby will be there. All the I'm sure a lot of the other owners will be there as well, so that we can chat up and get all kinds of stuff. So we are going to have an abbreviated show today, unless Timmy gets really froggy and wants to go.
I was froggy on Friday, and it was fun, man. I'm going to tell you. I know you were drunk all weekend and didn't get a chance to watch anything from Friday. JP?
Oh, I tuned in. I listened.
I went 10 minutes over on Friday. We were having so much fun.
I know. We got a great group, man. We got a great group.
I promised a Bucs flag in the studio on Friday. Look what we have here.
That is a beauty. Where'd you get that?
Amazon. It's like $9.
Yeah. I need one of those in here. I definitely got to get one of those in here. Absolutely, 100%. Order one up. Order me one. Let's go.
It's done.
All right. You Petermans, we're going to get into things. We got Scott Reynolds coming up at 10:30. Then I got to book out of here and run over to Steinbrenner to show my ugly face at the press conference and the Rays. You know, I replied to the we've kind of fallen off the press release list for the Rays in years past. So I got one of my good buddies in the media, Evan Klasky, to send me the press release, so I knew where to RSVP to. So I RSVP'd and said we'd like to take it all in, and they were very, very prompt in replying and said, yes, absolutely. Good to hear from you. Looking forward to seeing you. Something to those lines. Maybe it wasn't that nice, but it was very well received. And I look forward to being back in the fold, covering this amazing baseball team that we have and these new owners that are going to bring such amazing things to the city and to this team. So looking forward to that. And then Big O and I will be doing a show later today. We'll do it live after the press conference. So we're going to wrap all that up, get our first impressions of what we heard today, and kind of break all that down. So that kind of will be a serve as a JP Peterson Show emergency podcast, but it will actually be the O Show for Tuesdays and Fridays that we've been doing that. So if you're not listening to the Big O Show, what are you doing? It's baseball playoffs, and of course all that's going on with the Rays. So we'll do that a little bit later on. Probably won't hit that till maybe 1:30 or 2, but I'll put out some stuff on social media. So those of you who would like to watch it live can do so and comment. So all of you folks out there, all the great Petermans, hopefully join us and join in, because we'd love to hear from you. All right.
I know I'll be tuned in, JP. I can't wait to hear what Big O says about this, man. I'm dialed in for this.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. We're very much looking forward to the whole thing. It's just waited so long for this new day. And you know, it's just, we've talked a lot about this, and I don't want to repeat myself, but it's been so bad, and I don't think people realize how bad it's been. And sometimes you don't know how bad it is until you find out what could have been. You know, when you're in a really, really crappy relationship, right, and it's just stress all the time, and you're like, oh, this is kind of the way it is, you know, marriage. And then you finally are brave enough to break out of it, and you know, very much in my situation with the lovely Ashley, and you find out, wow, so this is what having a supportive, wonderful wife is emotionally, financially, everything. This is what it's like. Wow, what a difference! What a difference life can be, and it has been. And this is what it is for Rays fan. We're breaking up within a very toxic relationship with the old ownership group that refused to get you a new house. Refused to fund, even though they had tons and tons of money. They wouldn't let you go to the grocery store and buy anything good. You had to you couldn't go to any of the nice shops. You had to go to Costco. That was it. Even though they had billions of dollars, and they were certainly shopping at the nice places, but not you. No, you got to go to Walmart. I love Walmart, but
I hate Walmart.
But sometimes you just rather go to Target. Yeah. And sometimes you just rather go to nicer shops, Whole Foods, over Aldi's. That's what we got, folks.
I like Aldi. What's wrong with
Aldi? I love them all. That's where I shop.
I try to go anywhere but Walmart, dude.
But if somebody gave me, somebody said, I'll give you $500, you can go to Aldi's or you can go to Whole Foods, be nice.
Well, you get twice. You probably get 3 times the food at Aldi that you get at Whole Foods.
Oh my God. 100%. So
that's why we have HEB in Texas, JP. That's the greatest thing ever.
What's it called?
HEB.
HEB?
Yeah, it's like grocery stores on
that?
Steroids. It's call it HEB.
HEB, all right.
The guy's initials that started it, his last name's Butts, and they probably didn't want to go with Butts Grocery.
That won't be good. That won't be good. Douglas Batista adding something I think is very, very pertinent this morning already. If I can get my mouse to work. We need good, objective, unfiltered reporting on the Rays because the Tampa Bay Times coverage falls short. Glad you're back in the fold. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. That they've been such sycophants for Stu. I'm sure they're going to welcome a new, more transparent and honest group. I mean, what could be bad about that? I don't think. I mean, we'll see. But so looking forward to that. And there's not much more to say on that right now until we hear what they're going to say. If you have any questions that you think would be great for me to ask, put them in the comments. And if we deem it worthy, we will ask. I mean, obviously the questions about the stadium and questions about payroll will be very, very obvious. I'm going to be looking more for, community touch points and things like that. Fans, in terms of the fan interaction, the fans, putting fans first, I think is something that we're going to hear a great message on that from Ken Babby. And then the work begins. The press conferences are what they are. But then they'll say all the right things. I'm pretty sure. And maybe, we'll hear something very definitive on the stadium. I will say this, we've heard from Ken Hagan, and we've heard from, he said Ybor Harbor was the leader in the clubhouse this a couple months ago. I heard from some very learned real estate people that maybe Ybor is no longer the leader in the clubhouse, but we'll find out more today. Yeah, again, this is just speculation, but I trust these people in terms of their real estate knowledge. They're really, really good. They know Ybor downtown like maybe nobody other. And I'm saying, what are you hearing? Because when it's a final site is when they figure that out, there's going to be a lot of people that know before it goes public, and there'll be the real estate people will know, and things will start happening. Yeah. Stuff will get purchased around the area, so, and these people would know. And they said, I don't know if Ebor's the leader in the clubhouse anymore. So I'm just throwing that out there. So it's not reporting anything, but I tell you folks, when I hear something that I think is credible, there's rumblings behind the scene, I let you know, and things change all the time.
So what I'm hearing you say, JP, is that Jacksonville might be the leader in the clubhouse.
Oh, shut the
or Orlando Dreamers.
And it's definitely in Tampa Bay. It ain't leaving Tampa Bay.
Montreal.
So, no. See, you laugh, but this this is how this stuff gets started. And then we have to spend 10 years correcting everything. Good God. Please stop.
I'm safe here in Dallas. Can't touch me.
There's 2 of them from Jacksonville, and there's 1 from Orlando, and there's a couple from Tampa. They're moving in. They're going to play in all those cities. They're just going to barnstorm all year long. That's how.
Hey, and by the way, I heard Montgomery, Alabama is looking for a pro baseball team.
They got the biscuits. Yeah, some of the best gear ever. All right, so that's the race. Baker Mayfield for MVP. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that last week we said Mahomes, we literally said Mahomes' time is over. His time is over, and it's now Baker's world. We said that last week. And now, here we are. Everybody in the national media is jumping aboard. It's not just me saying it, by the way. Scott Reynolds, all the people that cover the Bucs. We've been singing the praises of Baker for years now, but it's no longer, as Nikki said yesterday, it's no longer some cute reclamation story about he's playing again. He's not playing. He's dominating the league in so many levels, and he's doing it without Mike Evans or without Chris Godwin, who is definitely not back to his form.
No,
and he's doing with an offensive line that has been reshuffled all year long. He hasn't been sitting back there like Sam Darnold was, perusing the field and making, he's been running for his life, making plays. And none more on display than in Seattle this past week. It was a virtuoso performance and historic. Over 375 yards with only 4 incompletions. And of those 4 incompletions, one was a drop by Godwin. Another was should have been a DPI on K-Dot. Another third he threw away, and a fourth, it was the only one that maybe he put a little bit into harm's way. Everything else was right on target. Right on target. Great throws with velocity and accuracy. And then, like you watched Trevor Lawrence last night.
Yeah.
And we always talk about process over outcome. Coaches always talk about that, and that's the right thing. So when you do win the game, let's not scrub the process. We still need to look at how you operate. And Trevor Lawrence on that last drive made 2 incredible throws. There's no doubt about that. He also took 2 sacks that you can never take, and had a clock violation as well that you can't do in those situations. Those were 3 of the dumbest plays, only superseded by sticking the ball out over the top at the goal line.
That play went out of style 20 years ago. You
High
can't
school
do that anymore.
Stupid shit. I mean, maybe I had a first half bet on that would have cashed had he maybe that happened, which screwed up my entire parlay for the whole night, which would have cashed if not for that stupid play. But it's still a stupid play. I mean, what are we like? At what level? This is what you're doing? You're sticking the ball out up like this at the goal line?
Don't do that anymore. And by the way, he was that close, JP, to scoring on that play. I mean, they showed the goal line, and he didn't get there, but, dude, he got so close.
Yes, it's about the process. That's not part of the process.
That's not what you want to do.
Football.
Was that a called play? You think Liam Cohen called that play?
No, hell no. Liam Cohen did not stick the ball out over the line. I can guarantee you that. No. He said, get your 6'5", 235-pound ass pushing behind people and get it in the end zone. Yeah. You don't need to do that. At that level, you just follow your guard, get off the ball, get low, and score the touchdown. It's not that hard.
Well, his right guard was not his friend last night.
What you don't do, well, then go left. I mean, figure it out. Jiminy Christmas.
I don't know who he is.
What you don't do is that.
By the way.
And then he bumbles and stumbles his way in the end zone. And it's like, that's not a great play. He gets stepped on, not his fault. But then tries to get up, falls down again. I'm like, how is there not 7 guys on top of him right now?
Oh, it was so great.
Did a nice job breaking a tackle and getting into the end zone.
You want to see it?
Sure. Let's
goal with 30 seconds left.
Oop.
Now Lawrence goes down, has to get up, breaks a tackle.
I'm like Chris Jones is really working hard on that play.
Good
Look at
God.
95. Look at 95 on this play. Watch him, and he's the one yelling at everybody else. Run out again.
30 seconds left.
Okay, he gets off the ball. He's now I'm just going to stand here.
Has to get
Maybe I'll
up.
stop. Oh, wait, he's still alive.
Touchdown,
How about that? How about 95? How about that effort? Wow. Show that one more time in case the people missed it. He's right over the center. He'll get stoned. Okay, now he's there. I'm just going to stand here. Oh, he's going to be. Look at him. Oops. Had he moved, had he initially gone towards, he would have stopped him at the goal line.
Yeah. Too late.
What are you doing, bro? You just quit.
And by the way, look, I don't watch a ton of Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously football, but I've been intrigued a little bit with Trevor Lawrence since he came out of Clemson. Because of his frame, I mean, he's huge. He's a huge dude. Well, tall wise, he's not, girthy or anything, but
he's a big boy.
Who thought we'd hear the word girthy on the show today? But dude, I still, after 5 years that he's been in the league, 6 years, I don't know how long it's been. I still don't know if he's any good. Like, I still can't tell.
He's not.
He is one of the most awkward quarterbacks I've seen. I think awkward is a good word. Even when he runs, like that play, anytime he ran last night, it just looks awkward. It doesn't look smooth.
Listen, he is a tremendous physical talent. But you're right, it doesn't look smooth. He can make those great throws and run through a tackle like that. But I got to tell you, I haven't watched the whole game of him for a long time, but I got to tell you, and our good friend Rick Ballou, who's covered Jacksonville for a long time, was one of the few voices out there who said, don't re-sign this guy. Yeah. He has no feel for the game. I mean, you look at him, you look at Baker play and you look at Lawrence play. It's so different. And Baker's obviously, he may have a better arm than Lawrence, actually. But Baker is so aware of everything and what's going on around him and what everybody else is doing and making the right checks. That quarterback I saw last night, his football IQ is really bad. I almost used the R word. Like, he's really bad. He's dumb. He's a dumb quarterback. And you're not, I don't care how gifted you are. And I bet Liam Cohen is just rolling his. That's why they kind of got into it a couple weeks ago. And remember that when Lawrence went like that? Because Liam Cohen's probably sick of all the dumb shit he's doing after being with Baker. And that guy's on top of everything intellectually and from an instinctual. This guy's the least instinctual, least smart quarterback I think I've ever seen play, especially last night. They're not going anywhere.
Well,
and I will predict that Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence will have a divorce at some point, because they're what, 4-1 now?
Yeah,
they're not going anywhere with Trevor Lawrence.
Look, I'll
just say that
I'm not going to disagree with you about Trevor Lawrence. Again, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, inclination in my eyeball test tells me he's not good. Okay, but at the same time, is this the first season he's had some stability in the? I don't know if the coaching staff is even stable now under Cohen. I really don't. I don't know if Cohen's a good coach yet.
Yeah,
we don't know the coaches and the staffs that he has had to deal with.
It's been bad.
Jacksonville.
It's been bad.
It's no different than what Baker had to deal with in Cleveland.
Yeah,
and Baker, I still think looked better there in Cleveland than Lawrence has in Jacksonville, but. It's the old adage, is he a bad quarterback because of his team, or is he just a bad quarterback?
Well, here's the thing.
I feel like I
love what Rick called that, the stumble Ruski. That is good.
That is good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Just looking at the process last night, watching him play, and I've heard this from Rick as well, who watches every game and every play, that he's just not that guy. He's just not you. After a while, you watch a quarterback and you see, like, you watch Baker and you're like, oh, the instincts, the playmaking, the leadership, all those things,
spatial awareness, right? In the way, stuff.
Baker does a lot of commercials, right? He'll never do one as cringe as the Trevor Lawrence, who's their new rookie?
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Have you seen that one?
Oh, with Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence?
Is there anything more cringe?
Oh, dude, it is bad.
That is so cringe.
It looks like both of those guys just met each other for the first time right before the commercial. So
bad. So bad. But and that's just, it's all part of it. It's like one's a dude in Baker and this other guy's just like, I'm a good looking guy with great hair and I can throw the ball a mile, but he's just
God, it is
so I don't think he'll ever be really successful in this league. So, but anyway.
And it's funny, you were talking about Baker and Mahomes earlier. It's so, I go and look up stats, and sometimes I have to remind myself when these guys were drafted. It feels to me, for some reason, that Baker Mayfield has been in the NFL so much longer than Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Baker's been in the league 15 years, right? Because of, I guess, his travel or whatever.
I don't know. Patrick's been around.
Dude, he came into the league the year after Mahomes. Mahomes has been they're the same age. Mahomes came in the 2017 draft, which boggles my mind that it's been that long. And then, of course, Baker 2018. It seems like Baker has been in the league, to me, in my football brain, forever. And that, to me, it seems like Mahomes is still kind of a new kid. But but that's just not the way it is. It's crazy in my brain.
So I want to get to some of the comments here in just a second as well, but Baker, now taking over as the MVP leader, especially in the national media. It's great to hear. Yeah. It's great to hear everybody on board now. We've known this for a couple of years, but I'm glad that, he's finally getting his due. And if he continues to play like this, it's not going to be something like, oh, well, because last year I kind of felt like Baker wasn't even in the conversation. I was like, why? Why not? Why? Like, look at the numbers. Look at how he's playing. Now, he did have a lot of picks. And how about that? 1 pick this year. 1. He's definitely, and he told us in the offseason, that's what he's looking at. And he has gone to work and kept the ball out of harm's way, despite all the chaos around him, by the way. You know, I heard somebody say, oh, well, you know, he's getting great protection. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. He's not getting great protection. He hasn't had great protection all year. It's been a fire drill, and he's still making plays. Go watch the tape against Seattle. I can count probably 6 times where he threw off his back foot right away because he was getting such early pressure. He had to move almost every single time to get a throw off, and he was still 29 of 33 for 375 and 2 tutties. So he's just playing out of his mind, not to mention how he plays at the end and how cool and calm and smart. He does everything right, everything. And the game management has been absolutely superb from Bowles and Beislein. It has been really, really good. And this is a team that isn't even close to hitting its stride in terms of health. And then the schedule really gets easier. Don't forget, 3 of these 4 wins have been on the road. On the road.
Yeah.
You know, so it's in Seattle's a tough place to play. And I know they haven't been as dominant home as in years past, but still, that was a hell of a win on so many levels. And as you start to get healthier, the embarrassment of riches on this team offensively is crazy. But, you know, you're still and defensively, I think they have a chance to be really good. Like that second half we saw against the Eagles in the first half that they saw, that was 4 quarters of almost shutout football, almost complete shutout football, 4 quarters against 2 really good teams. 2 really good teams. Now, what happened in the second half was obviously bad, and they made adjustments. And I think, as Bowles said yesterday, they fundamentally got out of whack, and that can happen sometimes. And I also think Darnold was hot. He was hot, and Smith and Jigba is really, really good. I mean, he is freaking unbelievable, and they've got some weapons. And Kenneth Walker, that Seattle team is good, and they made plays. Sometimes, you know, even when you're in the right places, the other team is making plays. But there's adjustments that can be made, and I still think this defense can be really, really good. Get Benjamin Morrison back, who I think is a really good player. Get Jamel Dean back. You're not going to get Cansey back, obviously, but these younger players are starting to play well up front. You got something. Now, the edge rush is still an issue. There's no question about that. The edge rush is an issue. But we'll see how that works out the rest of the year. That to me is your glaring weakness right now.
By the way, all I could think of sitting there watching, and by the way, it was really nice. I got the Seahawks Buccaneers game on my local CBS in Dallas so I could watch the actual game. All I could think of as those 2 quarterbacks were going at it toe to toe, a couple of heavyweights having almost perfect games, right? Both of them had great games. All the fans in Carolina thinking, God, we had both those guys.
Unbelievable.
That's all I could think of. And then poor Dave Canales getting ready for his game going, I'd like to have just one of those guys.
Yeah. Unbelievable. That's why I asked that probing question last week. Do you and Sam reminisce about the good old days in Carolina? Like, wow. What an absolute dumpster fire that place is. Hunter Tubb says, are they doing the press conference at the Trop? No, that place really smells right now. It's at Steinbrenner. So that's why I'll be zipping around. I'm not far from there. I can zip right over and do this first hour. Young Swag 69 says, JP, can you finally say who the elite Tampa Bay businessmen are that you've been talking about, or will that be addressed at the press conference? Well, Fred Ridley, obviously, and Dan Doyle were 2 of those pieces, the biggest pieces that we've seen. And I think we'll see more at the press conference today, hopefully. And I think they're still working through some of that. I think they're adding people as this goes through. So we will see more of that. Will they be on the show? No, the press conference will be on YouTube Live. I did make a request for Zalewski and Babby, and they said at this time they're not scheduling one-on-ones. They'll just but in the future we'll see. So which is expected. But we'll get them. Don't worry. Michael LaRue says NHL showed its incompetence by only punishing the Lightning and letting the Panthers' dirty play go unchecked. This double standard will only escalate things as the Panthers keep getting away with it. Yeah, this is absolutely unconscionable what the NHL did yesterday. Fining the Lightning $100,000 and John Cooper $25,000 and the Panthers get off with nothing. They started all this shit. Yeah. And did you not watch the playoffs, the NHL? The fact that Colin Campbell's son, who's the director of hockey operations, is the assistant GM, we've kind of mentioned it tongue-in-cheek, but now it just looks ridiculous on its face.
It's just blatant. They're not even hiding it.
I mean, did the Lightning call up 7 players to start fights? Yes. Did Sabourin go after Ekblad on purpose? Hell yeah, because he took out Hagel in the playoffs with a dirty hit in the back of the head. This all started in the playoffs. And by the way, it started with, and everybody wants to, it started with Hagel's hit. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It started with the Panthers from the first effing whistle, taking cheap shots after the whistle, every single scrum. Cheap shot, cheap shot, cheap shot. Nonstop. And they did nothing about it. They did nothing about it. They were running at Kucherov. They were running it all, and the NHL did nothing about it. You could see it plain as day on the ice. Yeah. And then Hagel went to get Barkov, who'd been running at everybody else. And if Barkov touches the puck, it's not even a penalty. It wasn't even a dirty hit. But the fact that he missed the puck when he went to touch it makes it, because he's not playing the puck, makes it a penalty. And then Ekblad takes 3 strides, goes down the boards, and elbows Hagel in the back of the head. In the back of the head, under the helmet. And that was just one of many, 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 many cheap shots. That was the one that actually hurt somebody and put Hagel out. Now, he got suspended a couple games for that, but the job was done. And then the next round, they take out Toronto's goaltender with a cheap shot. And they did it throughout the playoffs. Like, and you're gonna find John Cooper? Like Paul Maurice is like some, saint? Are you effing kidding me? They started all this shit. And it's not good for the game. But I'll tell you this, did the Lightning do the right thing? You're damn right they did. And now they got Curtis Douglas, who they just picked off waivers, who's 6'9", 245 pounds, enforcer. And he will be up, I know, for at least 4 games this year. That's for damn sure. And that's exactly what JBB needed to do. 100%. Sabourin, 6'6", Jack Finley, and 6'9", Curtis Douglas will be the 4th line when we play the Panthers in November. You can bank on that.
As it should be.
I mean, this is when the NHL player safety is this lopsided and one-sided and just pointing the finger at the Lightning for all this. How tone deaf are you and blind? This didn't happen on Saturday night. You act like this just popped up on Saturday night. Come on, man. What are you even talking about? This started a long time ago, and it wasn't started by us. And it's bad for hockey what they've done. We've just had to answer because you, the NHL, are not doing it. We don't want to be a bully. But the only way to deal with a bully, if you're going to not check them, is to be a bully. And they came in, and A.J. Greer sucker punched Hagel twice and gave him a concussion.
Somebody's going to get really, really hurt.
And he got a $2,000 fine. Didn't even get kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me? Good God. This is, you can't say anything else. Well, I guess, take care of your boy. Take care of the Panthers. Make sure they're okay. Come at the Lightning. It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. I'm just, ugh.
Well, like I said, it's only going to get worse before it gets better if the NHL isn't going to address it properly.
Right.
It's going to get a lot. Somebody's going to get really, really hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why not? I mean, why would Florida pull back on any of this? They're not getting punished.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they're going to get more aggressive before they get less aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a problem.
We got a lot of great comments in there. Listen, I want to address the Daryl Shaw thing, and I would like to, but I need to get more information. Daniel Rivera says, good morning. I can't take it for Mano access. Seriously, good morning, Daryl Shaw not being a minority in Ybor as an effect not happening. Every sign points Ybor Harbor right now. Well, it did, but things changed, Daniel. And I don't know. Maybe this is just a negotiating ploy in terms of, I know that's where this ownership group would want, that would be the leader in the clubhouse. That's what they want. But if it doesn't work financially, if they can't get a deal done with Daryl Shaw, then you got to look other places. And listen, I'm not going to get hung up on, I would rather it be down there. I think it would be iconic on the water. I think we can all agree on that. But if it's not there, if it's HCC, fine. If it's fairgrounds, fine. I don't care where. Honestly, I don't care. As long as it's in Tampa with 2 million people within a 30-minute drive, I'm fine. That's just where it needs to be to be
that's
most
what Major League
successful.
Baseball wants to.
That's what they've always wanted. So let's not get too hung up on whether it's Ybor Harbor or Ybor Central or HCC or Dog Track or some other places. We don't know yet. So we'll see. But just make it work. Make it work. Make it great. Make it beautiful. Let's just make it happen. Make it happen. So we'll see what goes on there. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Scott Reynolds will join us, and we'll talk a little bit more Buccaneers. We'll get to your comments as well. If we don't, Tim will stay late and do that for me.
Sure.
Let's see. He loves you guys. We all love you guys. And we thank you so much for participating.
I had so much fun on Friday, JP, letting the Petermans run the show. It was great.
Yes, absolutely. They deserve it.
Even though I was being personally attacked half the time.
In a good way, right?
Having to tell my stab stories, having to tell my spooning the homeless guy stories.
I love it. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. They're local, they're trusted, and they get results. Get your free consultation at JeevesLawGroup.com. Tell them JP sent you, non-attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And by the great folks at OnSiteConstructionFL.com, our first hour presenters. If you are looking for a contractor, looking to build, looking to renovate, looking to add on to your home, they do a tremendous job. Go to their website, OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Look at all the great pictures, the 5-star reviews, and give them a call and get on that preferred client list. So if there's another hurricane and you got damage, you won't be searching for a contractor, and you'll already be on the priority list. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Back in 3 with Scott Reynolds. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. Also, it is the home of the Tampa Gator Club. For all the watching, Gator fans can come out of hiding now. Beat Texas. You can go watch the games in public now.
Told you it happened.
So we did. We called it last week.
Yep.
So head on over to Riveters. Enjoy their great happy hour as well. By the way, Bucs brunch. They open at 9 o'clock before Bucs games. Of course, this is a 4 o'clock game. But I think they'll still be open at 9 for Bucs brunch. So head on over there if you want to pregame, watch the early games, and then head on over to the stadium. Great specials going on. Go to the website, riveterstampa.com, and see all the great specials for Bucs brunch. And they're having a big Halloween party as well, which I might MC.
Oh, wow.
How spooky will that be?
All
right.
High-toned.
Let's welcome in the face that runs the place at the Pewter Report, the great Scott Reynolds. What's up, Scotty? How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, fantastic. What a I was listening to your great Pewter Report podcast on the way over this morning.
Thank you.
And yes, and a lot of interesting things in there. But you were very much on. We're usually right on the same level, by the way, on our post games, and the entertainment value of that game. I said it was one of the top 5 most entertaining Bucs game I've ever watched.
It was crazy good. Yeah.
I mean, that was. I mean, we have the you have the advantage of your great perspective of covering this team for 30 plus years. And I'm trying to remember, there have been a lot of good ones, but that was in my top 5 without question, with all that was going on with the throwbacks, the 2 quarterback stories, the atmosphere, man, it was special.
And the Bucs win. I mean, that's the
Bucs won.
Yeah, the icing.
I mean, when you look at the 2 quarterbacks, they were both in the zone, and that's always fun when you have that type of game. But then you have 2 wide receivers that were also in the zone too. The Ohio State kids, Emeka Ibuka and Jackson Smith and Jigba. So to me, I thought that's what really made this kind of a cool, fun, special game. I love defense, so I was throwing up in the second half. There, it was something I ate at halftime or just watching touchdown after touchdown get scored on Todd Bowles' defense. But same thing was happening to Seattle too, and sometimes that's just how it is. I think the great Rondé Barber once told me, "Great throw, great catch beats great coverage."
Yeah,
and it just does. If you look at the Pro Football Focus grade of Jacob Parrish, it was awful, like 29 or whatever it was. He really didn't play that bad. If you look at the coverage was right there. Cooper Kupp
had 9 tackles.
Cooper Kupp was just making some unbelievable catches, and one of those was literally off the hands of Yaya Diaby. Should have been a walk-in pick 6 at the goal line.
Game over.
But I don't know. It was very fun to see. What I love about this, unlike watching my Kansas State Wildcats on Saturdays, which has just been horrific. I'm like entering.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I know. And I get, because I'm not a like an S&M guy whatsoever, so I get sadist and masochist confused. But I'm one of those because I put myself through that.
Yes.
Every Saturday, hoping and praying that my Wildcats will get back to being good, and they won't. But I have the exact opposite feeling watching this Buccaneer team on Sundays. It's just, they're never out of it. And when they have, when they're down, like, I'm not even concerned, because I know somehow, some way they're going to find a way to win this game. Yeah. Because this year's not like last year. Last year, they lose those games. Last year, they lost to the 49ers 23-20 because they couldn't get a stop, and the 49ers marched down the field. They kicked the walk-off field goal, and they won. They won a close game that was right there for the taking by the Buccaneers. And you go back and you look at that Falcons game in overtime that was right there for the taking. Even the creamsicle game was close. The Chiefs game, which went into overtime. Just so many of those games, they learned lessons from losing games they should have won. And now they're winning those games. And so to me, I just have this supreme level of confidence that somehow, some way, and I will say, I'm a little bit more confident in the Bucs offense getting that last score than the defense getting a stop. But
there it is. Let's dive into this a little bit with game management. Sorry, Tim. I want to hit this. This is what we talked about a lot yesterday, and this is kind of my theme of my monologue yesterday. Is look at you, 4-1 in one-score games. You were 2-6 in 7-point games last year. There it is. So what are we doing differently? We're trying to get our offense to have the ball last instead of our defense.
Yeah, that's true.
We won the game.
Yeah, I think Zach Beislein too has played he's paid huge dividends for this coaching staff. I think he's made Todd Bowles a better game manager. And that's what he's designed to do.
100%.
And we're not seeing some of those questionable decisions, whatever. Like, for example, some fans were losing their mind about, they should have gone for 2. No, that's not when you go for 2. With that much time left on the clock, you don't go for 2, because Seattle was going to get a possession. And, if the Bucs would have gotten a 1-point lead there and gone for 2, Seattle can just march down the field and kick the game-winning field goal, and it wouldn't have mattered. What Todd Bowles wisely did was tie the game up there, because you can't lose the game there.
You still need a defensive stop.
You still need a defensive stop. Right. And you can't lose the game there, because if you go for 2 and you don't get it, you're behind. And now what does Seattle do? Run the ball. Yeah. How did the Buccaneers win the game? An interception, because Seattle had to play a legitimate style of football.
They had to be aggressive.
To run and pass, to move the ball down the field to try to win. And if you had gone for 2 and missed it, or gone for 2 and make it, that's a different situation there. Seattle would have had to throw the ball if you make it, right? Because they need to aggressively move down the field. But if you miss that, you're trailing, and then Seattle just runs. You
don't have any their timeouts,
and there's no interception to make.
They could just take a knee, because I think you used all your timeouts.
So on that play, and JP, if y'all talked about this yesterday, I apologize, I missed it. Scott, obviously, we saw all the players holding up 2 fingers to go for 2.
Right.
Was that a situation, you think, or maybe if Bowles discussed it in the post game, was 2 called at first, and then someone thought better of it and said, no, guys, and changed the call?
Todd Bowles did say that he's like, we thought about it, but then we ultimately didn't do it. And I don't know. I mean, listen,
I don't think it's a horrible play. Because you do need a defensive stop either way. Yeah. And to me, it's all about a lot of information we don't know. Right. Like how injured was the defense? How tired was the defense? Because what you're basically saying is, we're going to eliminate overtime. We don't want to play overtime. And if there was something where Todd was like, we're done. Yeah, we're too beat up. We don't want to go to overtime. We got to try to win it right here with our offense that is right now going through them. Yeah. Like a sieve. So,
and maybe if you're at home, that's the right call.
Yes,
maybe they do make that
exactly my point. So I don't think going for 2 would have been a terrible call in this situation, because your offense is so good and you've got matchups all over the field. They're down 17 corners. I think that play right there, and they've got a really good 2-point play, that they really like. I'm saying that's probably a 75, 80, maybe 85% conversion rate in that moment. And I don't think that's a terrible call. I think either way, it would have been okay with me. I don't think it's terrible.
What I liked about Bull's decision there is he tied the game, and then he knew he was going to need a stop. And he knew that because it was tied, that the Seahawks had to move the ball down the field, right? To avoid overtime, to get the win at the last minute, you have to pick up the pace and all that. And so what I appreciated about Todd Bowles is he didn't do a lot of blitzing in that game. And we've seen Todd sometimes, like last year, get too conservative and play almost like a prevent defense and allow
like he did on the first play.
Yeah, just to kind of like whittle the ball down the field. And instead he blitzed and kind of broke his own in-game tendencies there. And so I like that, to where he's like, hey, listen, our front four is not getting there.
We're not going to sit back and just let them go down the field like we did last year.
We're going to lose
multiple times.
We're going to empty the chamber. We're going to blitz, and we're going to do this. And again, I as much as I want to criticize Todd Bowles' defense, and it deserves some criticism, right? I mean, it gave up 5 straight touchdowns on possessions. The Seahawks I don't think they punted in the second half at all. But Sam Darnold was in the zone. He was as much in the zone as Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
and so sometimes you got to tip your hat to the other guy and say, well done. Like you can try everything. That it wasn't like the receivers were running wide open. It wasn't like there were coverage busts. I mean, the only coverage bust I saw, I think, was like Levante David and Hassan Reddick kind of having some miscommunication down there by the goal line on the Barner touchdown.
Yeah.
But really, outside of that, I thought the coverage was good.
The last touchdown by Horton, where Reddick should have had the sack, he's wide open in the flat, so they busted a coverage there.
For sure. Yeah. And again, it's like, Yaya Diaby, Hassan Reddick are right there playing two-hand touch with the quarterback instead of getting him down. And, I don't know. I'd like to see a sack. I think sacks are fun. I know it's a crazy idea.
Put them on the ground
for to get a sack, but I think they're fun and they're good.
Hey, we're just now learning how to catch interceptions. All right, so
that's true.
Let's make baby steps here.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the genius of Todd Bowles, he's been called a defensive mastermind. And some people say, well, and that's what Antoine Winfield does. He blitzes successfully, put pressure on there. But if you go back and look at how that play was constructed, right? Servassier Dennis and Winfield both blitz, and Servassier Dennis actually has a step on Winfield and draws the running back up to block him, because the running back's in no man's land. He's got 2 guys. One of them's going to come free. Yeah. You got to pick up the first guy, and that was Servassier. So Servassier did his job, completely locked up the blocking back and allowed Winfield there. But really, the genius of this play, the way it was constructed, was how Todd put Logan Hall in a perfect position to have his 6'6" helmet right there to deflect the ball. And, he was doing the calculations on the sidelines, the geometry of it all. And then he's like, Levante, I want you to drop right there. The angle, it's almost like one of those billiards trick shots, right? We're going to put Logan Hall
playing bumper pool now. Is that what we're
going to deflect off the dome? And then Levante, if you're here, you're going to catch the ball like that. And it worked out perfect. So.
But the genius was the design. And also, let's give a credit to the timing of Antoine Winfield and his speed, because he affected that throw. He got there, and as Sam's throwing the ball, he gets hit, and he has to his arm comes down because he's getting hit, which causes the deflection. So Antoine Winfield caused that turnover.
I will say this, and you're probably going to agree with me here, JP, because great minds do think alike. So no pressure, but I'm just saying you probably will. We have a mutual friend, Rondé Barber. We all covered him, all of his Buccaneer time in Tampa. Rondé was obviously one of the best blitzing defensive backs of all time. If you were to take Antoine Winfield Jr. and switch out his career with Rondé Barber and make him the guy in Monty Kippen's defense that was the blitzer, he might put up more sacks than Rondé Barber. And the reason I say that is because now this is such a quick passing game.
Yeah.
It's shotgun and throw. There was not nearly as much shotgun back in the 90s. That was kind of like an advent of the 2000s. And not just that, but think about all those times where Rondé got back there on a 5 and 7 step drop, which are almost unheard of. There's really almost no such thing as a 5 or 7 step drop unless you're doing play action in this day and age. But it used to be, and we saw it, 5 and 7 step drops from an under center snap.
Mm-hmm.
And that just creates more time for defensive backs and blitzing linebackers to get there.
Yeah, and so they're closer to the quarterback.
They're closer to the quarterback.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I'm just saying, as great of a blitzer as Rondé Barber was, and we've seen, I mean, Winfield's got what he's approaching.
He's got great
sacks or something.
Regard.
I'll look it up, but I mean, he's a tremendous blitzer. But just imagine if Winfield was playing in his dad's generation, do a little Back to the Future there. But imagine if that was the case, the sacks that this guy would rack up if he had more time to get to the quarterback because they weren't doing these little smoke routes, these little step and throws and the 3-step drop rather than the 5 and 7 step drop. It's just, it's amazing how good of a blitzer he is. He's got, got to put my glasses on here. 18 sacks, 18 career sacks. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Rondé Barber, I want to say, had like, what, 20,
25,
25,
20, 28, 20. I'm going to go 28.
28. Yep, 28. So he's close. He's
ding,
close
ding,
to
ding, ding.
catching Rondé Barber, which is pretty damn good.
Yeah, already. Here's one from Michael LaRue. Bucs outside linebackers on pace for 7 total sacks this season. Last year, they had 10. They're going they're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Okay.
That these guys are going to start getting sacks.
I think so too. Yes.
I think they're getting close, and I know you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But I think they're frustrated, and they're gonna start getting these sacks. I'm just gonna. At
Seattle at its core is a 2 tight end team. It's a 12 personnel team, and they kept backs and tight ends in the throw. I didn't count them when I went back and watched some of the film, and I didn't watch all the film, but I watched some of it, and you can see them keeping a tight end in, them keeping a back in. So they're not an empty set where it's, you're rushing 4 against 5 and, 3 guys have a 1-on-1 and then there's a double team up there somewhere. So they were chipping and double teaming a little bit. So that's a little uncommon. Seattle runs more 12 personnel than most of the league does. And they went max protect on some of the situations. So it's hard to get to the quarterback there. It doesn't mean that you can't beat a double team. That's not illegal. I checked the rule book. You're actually allowed to plow through 2 guys to get to the quarterback. I've seen it done. I remember Warren Sapp doing that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's something that Todd needs to relay to his outside rushers is like, hey, if you're double teamed, you can still, beat both of those guys and get to the quarterback. That's allowed.
Don't quit.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with you. I think sacks usually come in bunches.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see more. I would be shocked if they ended the season with 10. It might be 15, which isn't great, but I mean, we'll see.
And the apologists will tell you, look, they're not registering sacks on paper, the stat, but they're getting a lot of pressure that is affecting plays during the game, whether it's incompletions, whether it's flushing quarterbacks out of the pocket, or whether it's just quarterback hits.
Yes.
Those are happening, and it's affecting the play on the field from the offense. So it's still the pass rush, while not registering the stat, I think is still having a positive effect on the outcome of plays. Yeah. And look, I know Hassan Reddick has not had a sack since week 1. Right. All right. To me, that's concerning. Yeah. But I don't think he's playing poorly this season. I think he's playing pretty well. And so those will come. Those will come.
He's not Joe Tryon Shawinka. Neither is Yaya Diaby. We're getting that on our chats during our podcast. And I'm no. We're not there. We're
not even close. Not even close.
At the same time, though, and I want Yaya Diaby to be great because I like him as a person. He's a friend of the program. He's a great dude. He wants to really be good. It just, to me, I think where he is, and listen, I think Larry Foote needs to do a better job too. I love Larry, friend of the program, but he's got to squeeze more out of the fruit that he's got here. He's got to get more juice out of these guys and more production because that's the name of the game: pressures and sacks, right? And they don't pay you on pressures. Warren Sapp told me that a long time ago. He's like, they draft you for sacks and they pay you for sacks, and you don't make the Pro Bowl with pressures. You make the Pro Bowl with sacks. That's just the way it is. And there is a finality about a sack. Like, look no further. Like, you can have a pass breakup. Yaya Diaby had a pass breakup at the goal line. Yep. Had both of his hands up. The pass ricocheted off his hands, was caught by Cooper Kupp, who I think went for a first down on that play.
He did.
So at the end of that that play, that pass breakup didn't do crap, So same thing with the pressure. Not all pressures are created equal. The pressure that Antoine Winfield Jr. had forced an interception.
That's right.
But you can also get a pressure on a touchdown pass, So there is a finality about a sack. To me, a sack always trumps a pressure unless that pressure is creating a
because the pressure doesn't make it 2nd and 17. Correct. A sack does, and that's hard, and that's a drive killer.
Yeah,
sacks are drive killers.
Pressures are not. Is an automatic negative play, regardless of the outcome. It is a negative play. There's a finality to it. But I do think they're coming. And I tell you, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But David Walker, the loss of this guy, because this guy is a natural pass rusher. Like I question a little bit of Yaya Diaby's instincts. Mm-hmm. Because even at Louisville, he had one good year. He had like that late bloomer 9-sack season that obviously helped his draft stock. But he wasn't a first rounder. He was a third rounder for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. And now we're he has 1 sack on the year. He had 4.5 last year. He had 7.5, the year before. And Larry Foote says the third year you're going to tell the league who you are. Mm-hmm. The year isn't over yet. Yaya still has some ground to make up. But to me, feels like he's a Carl Nassib type guy. 6.5 sacks, and that's okay. That's okay. To me, you can live with that as long as you have a dominant guy on the other side. And go back to Carl's year in 2019 with the Bucs. The other guy was Shaq Barrett with 19.5 sacks. So you have 19.5 on one side, 6.5 on the other. That's good. You can live with that. Yeah. But they need that other impact guy. If Yaya is going to be your outside linebacker 2, you need to have that dominant outside linebacker 1 on the other side. And it's not Hassan Reddick, at least not yet.
Yeah. All right. Last questions, because I have to go to this little baseball press conference they're having today. You mentioned this on your podcast. The Bucs' future receiving corps is already here.
Nice. Yeah.
And to see Tez do what he did the other day was fantastic.
Yeah.
Ibuka is just so off the charts. I retweeted a Baldy breakdown where he showed all his the nuances of the routes that he's running, and it's so good. It's so good watching this kid play. I love great route runners. I love just the nuance in their game, and there's none better than Ibuka right now doing it. And J-Mac obviously is going to be forced to become better. This competition is also making all these guys better. Mm-hmm. And we haven't even mentioned the words Evans and Godwin. So this receiving core is in great hands.
Yeah. And Sterling Shepard's having his best season.
Yeah, Sterling's not the future, but he's contributing. Yeah.
Big time contributing. Yeah.
It is. It's crazy. I mean, we praise Jason Light for his ability to draft offensive lineman. I mean, he's a savant, right? He's a mutant. That is his mutant superpower is drafting offensive linemen. But now you have to look at this and say, or is it the wide receiver position? Because all he's done is literally draft the best wide receiver in franchise history and the second best in Chris Godwin, right? Mm-hmm. Bar none. That's 1 and 2. Easy play to make right there. 1 and 2. We don't know how the story is going to end for Emeka Egbuka, but holy crap, is he off to a fantastic start, right? I mean, it's like this is a page turner. We can't wait to read more, right? Because the intro of this novel that we're seeing unfold before us is amazing, and then we're kind of intrigued by what Tez Johnson can do, right?
Yes.
And J-Mac, let's not sleep on the guy that had 8 touchdowns as a rookie. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think. And nobody wants to think about life after Mike and Chris are gone, but it's going to happen, right? It's a sad thought to think about, but we're also kind of comforted in knowing that Baker Mayfield, the cupboard is not going to be bare. You've got 3 guys that are on rookie deals that will be here. So whenever Mike decides to hang up the cleats, and whenever Chris will be 31/32 when his next contract is up, and with the injury histories that he's had, maybe this is it. Maybe this 3-year deal is it.
Yeah.
Great run. Bucs Ring of Honor guy for sure. But the future is so bright at wide receiver right now. And that's not including anybody else that they're going to throw into the mix. Mm-hmm. But the great thing about the future is it's also the present. It's also these guys are helping you win right now. And they're only going to be better later when Mike and Chris decide to retire. And Baker Mayfield's going to be like sitting pretty for the next 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
good
it's
stuff.
Great.
It's
great when you have that peace of mind that we're already kind of set at wide receiver, for the next 5 to 6 years, really. So it's
running back. I mean, you're pretty good there.
Pretty good there too.
This team is loaded, and Jason Light. Well, we'll talk about this the next time we gather. But Jason Light is just crushing it. And that people are noticing too, big time, as they should.
Well, and here's my last point. Jason Light built a Super Bowl caliber team that attracted Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
And Tom Brady picked one team, only one team to sign with as a free agent in his entire illustrious GOAT Hall of Fame career. And that was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I will say this. The team that Jason Light is building right now is another Super Bowl caliber team.
Absolutely.
That is in some ways even more impressive than the Super Bowl team that he built before because he had to alter the timeline of some of his long-term strategic thinking because he did not expect a sudden retirement from Ali Marpet, a sudden career-ending injury from Ryan Jensen, along with losing Alex Kappa in free agency that year. So the Buccaneers, they had a Super Bowl caliber offensive line protecting Brady, attracting Brady, winning a Super Bowl, running the ball, throwing the ball, all that stuff. And then in one offseason, you lose both guards in your center. And you have to rebuild that in short order with Cody Mauch, Graham Barton, Ben Bredesen. It's stunning stuff while adding all of these Kalijah Kancey, Bucky Irving, Emeka Egbuka pieces. It's insane.
And now he's got free agent money to work with in the next couple of years.
Yep. Good stuff.
It's great stuff. Yep. Scotty, as is Pewter Report, always thank you so much for your time. Tell the folks where they can get all your great content, my friend.
PewterReport.com. We've got some great content today. We're coming out with the Pewter Report Roundtable later this afternoon, which is always fun. We do that on Tuesdays. We have our Bucs versus 49ers preview tomorrow on our 4 o'clock podcast. We do podcast Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 o'clock on Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. And then, of course, our post-game podcast after the game. So make sure you check out Pewter Report TV for all of our Bucs video content. I have my Bucs Brightside video out later today. And then you can find us on X and Facebook and Instagram at Pewter Report.
Okay, Mr. Brightside.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy.
You got it.
I hate that song.
You hate everything popular. That's who you are.
Is that song popular?
Yeah, it's huge.
No.
It's been even more popular later on in life.
It's
all right, I'm going to a press conference. Timmy's, you going to stick around with the Peter?
No, I'm going to watch the press. I want to watch it too,
Okay. All right. So we're done. We'll be back a little bit later on with the O show. I think probably around 2:30. Keep an eye out on our social medias. I'll give you an exact time. I'll give you about a half hour leeway. So come on and chat with us there. Comment with us there. All the same places. You know where to find us. We'll do that after the press conference. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow or later on today.